Hi and welcome to the Chaotic YouTube channel. In today's tutorial, we'll be covering the ways to get the most out of our new large format display screens, which feature great improvements from our previous screens. In this video, we'll cover the more advanced annotation or drawing package called Whiteboard. You can find it on the Lux mode of the screen. First of all, in order to use the screen, you have to turn them on. This differs depending on the teaching space. In the crit space, you can do it by using the buttons on this panel here. It's important to use this panel here because if you turn it on using a different method, you'll find that many basic features don't work, such as the mouse and keyboard. The reason for this is the panel allows use of the mouse and keyboard to switch between the built-in PC and an external laptop when plugged in. If the panel is off, it will disable the mouse and keyboard input entirely. By default, when the screen is switched on, it will use the Windows PC, which can be switched to by pressing the PC button. You can also switch over to the Lux mode by pressing the AUX button. For those screens without a wall panel, such as those in Studio B, you can turn them on by using the button in the bottom right hand corner of the screen bezel. To switch inputs, you can simply swipe up from the bottom of the screen to switch modes. So as we mentioned previously, we're going to switch over to Lux mode. Over in the Present section, you can see a button for the whiteboard. Once Whiteboard is open, you can see you have your toolbar across the bottom of the screen. This is where you'll see your drawing controls. You can select the tool by tapping it, and you can select more options for that tool by tapping it once again. So for example, we can draw something with the pen tool. Say we want a thicker line in red, we can tap again in the pen tool and use the slider on the top here to adjust the size and the colour selection to adjust the colour. In addition to the drawing features, you also have access to basic shapes and lines using this shape tool here. You can of course vary the colour and change the shape by clicking again on the shape tool. Note that you also have the option to use 3D shapes. There are a few ways to erase things in this Whiteboard app. Firstly and most intuitively, you can use the back of your hand or a wide flat surface of some kind to erase. Secondly, we have the eraser tool. This tool will allow us to draw a dotted line. Anything that's intersected by this dotted line will be erased when you release the tool. You can also use this dotted line to mark an area that you wish to delete multiple objects in. Finally, we have the dustbin tool. This will erase everything on the current screen and allow you to quickly start a new drawing sheet. Of course, if you make a mistake at any time or wish to return to what you had before, there are of course undo arrows next to the move tool over here. Our next tools to explore are the select and move tools. The move tool is the button with the hand on it over here. That will of course allow us to move our drawing around the canvas without needing to select it. The select tool works a little bit like the erase tool in that it draws a line and anything that intersects this line is selected. Similarly, you can also use it to mark a certain area for selection. Once you've selected one or more lines, you can then resize and rotate them as needed. It's worth noting that there are two ways to resize objects. Selecting an object and using a standard pinch zoom gesture will allow you to rescale the drawing while keeping its relative proportions. Using the resizer handle in the corners will allow you to free transform the object. Rotation can be done using standard touch gestures as you would do on a smartphone. You may also have different pages of Whiteboard and flick between them as needed. Down the bottom right, you can see a page counter with some arrows for allowing us to flick back and forth between the sheets. You can add sheets using the plus button next to these two arrows. If you use the dustbin tool, it will only erase the content on the current screen you have selected. All other sheets will be left intact. If you wish to erase other sheets, you can select the page counter and delete the sheets individually using the X next to the thumbnail of that sheet. Though once you erase a sheet, there is no way to restore it. You can also use some pre-prepared backgrounds by selecting the burger menu from the bottom left hand corner and selecting background. In this menu you can choose a different colour for your canvas. In the texture section you can use some pre-prepared textures. In the custom section we can load our own backgrounds for use. For example, as you can see, I've added a blank project seat with an A1 aspect ratio to the screen, but we could add anything we wish to in the future. You might also notice we can use a similar text recognition tool to the one in the basic annotation mode, but in this mode it instead converts written content into text that can be resized in the same way as the annotations can. Finally, we can use the QR share feature to share the content of our whiteboard with our participants. All sheets that were drawn on are shared using this feature. This allows the participants to download every sheet individually as separate files for reference later, or as one large PDF of all the pages. This doesn't require any software whatsoever, but you do need to be connected to Eduroam in order to receive the files. Remember at the end of your session to shut the screen down. To do this, just press the power off button. It's important to understand that this doesn't shut the PC down, and you still need to log out to protect your account. For Studio B, you can shut down the screen by pressing and holding the power button for 3 seconds, then clicking OK on the dialog that appears. This covers the extent of the whiteboard features. We have further videos outlining other features of these screens, but these tutorials have been broken down into a single topic videos to make the information easier to understand. So thanks for watching this tutorial. Feel free to check out our other videos, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you can keep up to date with videos as they're released. We hope to see you soon, but until then, have a good day.